Welcome everybody, my name is Ito and I'm happy to bring you Envision Esports versus The Cure. We're going to be starting things off on Overpass. And honestly, heading into this game, I don't have any crazy huge expectations from either team. These are names that I haven't exactly heard before, but starting things off at mid, it looks like Cure's already ready to make me blow my mind here. The first kill is easily going to go the way of Gabe's favor, taking down Turner. Just like that, mid control has been completely given up. JT doesn't even want to have any part of that. Rotates from CT have otherwise made their way all over to the A site, but slowly the Cure are actually pushing in towards the opposite site. JT, I don't believe, spotted that smoke going through, but he's going to hear some of the bounces from it, so he's going to be in for a nasty surprise. JT will strike back with one kill. Gabe, it's going to be on him to trade it out, and he does. But now, immediately, the CTs are going to be pushing in and actually winning some of these gunfights, but Mersive has come in massive here and picked up two, making it a 2-on-1. PWD, he's now in a tough spot immediately right off the bat. We're only one round into this, but we have seen some crazy shots already. No kit for PWD to work with here, so this is going to be made considerably tougher. Nigh impossible. I wouldn't be surprised if he just decides not to go for this. He's going to go ahead, fake commit to it, but it's not going to work out in his favor whatsoever. It's Gabe, the hero of that round. Picked up 3 and really just allowed them to take that B site with no issue whatsoever, but at the same time, you can't also... It's hard not to give credit to Mersive, is what I suppose I'm trying to say here. Because Mersive, those double taps were also pretty huge here, and it got them into the state where the Cure ended up, finishing things off. Over towards mid. A bunch of nades are going to go out here, but unfortunately, the destination of Envision Esports is over towards long, where they're just going to be having a nice field day. Actually finding a couple kills with these P2000s and USPs, before eventually going down. They picked up 2. Perhaps they could figure one more, but it would be kind of a tough challenge to get really any more than that. Just trying to cause as much economical damage as they possibly can. And I mean, all things considered, for such a minimal investment, a couple of grenades and a P250, I believe that's not actually too bad. PWD, I'm not exactly sure what he's going for. Is he looking to steal okay, good. He's going to steal MAC-10, a little bit of the utility as well. Has a Molotov in hand. And, wow, if only he knew how close Sultan was to death here. Maybe he'd want to chase that frag a little more. Also important to note that Dolt currently has 2 kills in this round. Most likely searching for his 3rd, but you have to be careful when doing that, considering he's not exactly healthy. Sitting at 14 HP. And he's looking all the wrong ways. Going to get punished for that. So that's a little more damage done. And another MAC-10 for the Cure, or excuse me, for, what's his name to work with? PWD to work with. I cannot forget my names. There's a cat right in front of my monitor right now, so it makes it a little tough. But quick 2-0 just like that. But the Cure, it's far from a clean eco round and far from something that you want. Something that most definitely needs to be fixed up, lest they do it on gun rounds here, but it's still very early in the game. You can't really say anything is concluded so far. Looks like we're going to be seeing a quick execute on B almost immediately here. Over by water, no one will be waiting. The smoke wall goes out. PWD essentially zoned out. Luckily, the player will be there to try to step up some of the slack, picking up 2. Turner finds another, but PWD is still sitting over towards barrels. Hasn't taken just an inch of damage, really. Because of that, he's going to be very healthy. Eventually, things are going to be left up to Scar here. He's only going to find 1 for his trouble before eventually going down. And really, that just kind of seemed like a lackluster execute, just because they weren't able to get that necessary frag onto... Really, I feel like the main person was Clayar. He picked up 2 for essentially no trouble whatsoever. That second, he was trying to get traded out, but it was far from enough. Because of that, Envision Esports will pick up around, or excuse me, yeah. Forgot my words for a little moment. I am a little bit sleepy. I just woke up from a nap, but as a pause comes through, I would imagine they might be considering on whether to force up into this. It looks like Gabe is going to be choosing to buy an op. Interestingly enough, it's a glass cannon. Envysion go with no armor. So I would imagine just because they have that AWP, they're going to be going for some long aggression. Again, though, I'm not the one playing in this match. At the same time, you have to wonder what they're going to do. They're actually going to be going for a double glass cannon setup. This is very interesting, and perhaps not something I exactly agree with here. Both the oppers on this team do not have a single source of... Well, actually, they have a little bit of utility, but they don't have any armor to work with. This could be very scary just off the bat. I guess it doesn't matter. It's still, again, as I mentioned before, early on into the game. This is a time where you can go for some more risky things like this. There's no harm in trying to pull off some weird strats, but you just have to be careful not to extend them too far, lest you lose. Pause still coming through. It actually might be tactical. Or, sorry, technical, rather. Just because of the sheer amount of time that it's taking. We don't exactly have any info on that, but if I were to find out, I would let you know in a moment. Looks like all the problems have been resolved, though. Round number 4 is about to go underway, and the Kier have an interesting buy-up into this one. A double glass cannon with a little bit of utility on the oppers as well. Everyone else forcing up pistols. All upgraded and all have armor, but very light utility for the Kier. This is going to be a tough round for them to win, just based off of the just on paper. It's honestly a rough matchup. Envysion, they don't have any sort of AWPs to speak of. They do have an interesting triple B stack. Turner spotting over towards A. Might have a flash ready for JT. JT was one of my players to watch here. Not the South African player. The Kier have immediately brought this to a halt. It's important to note that Gabe, late with the bomb, starting to bring it over towards the A site, but his team's going to have to wait for that. Turner is still jump spotting. Surely he's made some noise by now, though. They haven't spotted anyone towards long, so this could perhaps be a free kill for either Dalton or Sins. Just walking straight to the crosser. Sins unfortunately misses the shot, but it doesn't matter. Dalton will be there to go ahead and try to clean things up. Over towards Bathroom, not much luck either. JT misses his shot and ends up getting punished for it. Pushing into Bank will be Mercive, finding a kill as well. And this round, which looked like it was going to be complete shambles for the Kier, just based off of the sheer artillery that they had, seems to be working out perfectly in their favor. Haven't dropped a player yet. It looks like they don't want to sustain any more damages here. PWD and Clayar will both choose to save their guns. AK's on the 2. That should be a third round on the board for the Kier, but I'm honestly very surprised how no one was watching along for Envysion Esports there. I don't feel like that was... It's hard not to say it was the thing that killed them, but that was definitely a huge mistake that cannot happen again. The fact that they got up so close towards long, practically for free, they didn't have to use any of their utility whatsoever. In fact, I think they actually ended up gaining utility at the end of that, just picking up it from the fallen CTs. I mean, that was about as perfect of a round as the Kier could have gotten, and surely heading into next rounds, they're going to think, well, maybe we can start taking long a little bit more here. It seems to be their most exploitable area. Round number 5, we still see that double op set up in play. Towards mid, Sins will be waiting over towards blue. Claire is going to actually try pushing water, eats a little bit of spam down to half HP, but they have established that water control. Finally, Turner will be there to try to plug a hole in that defense. Water control is still heavily in the favor of the CT side right now, but the Kier, they're starting to group up and want to start taking this long control again, excuse me, and it's really hard not to blame. It's hard not to blame them. I mean, you can't really. I mean, it's been really exploitable, and they've gotten away with some crazy stuff that you can't expect. And Sins is still causing chaos over at B, but unfortunately will lose his life while doing it. But the real execute and the real magic seems to be happening towards long, where things have actually come to a standstill. They know that someone's waiting towards long, and they're afraid to push in. They're ending up starting to bleed players because of it. Bomb is still down over at the connector, and it's looking worse and worse by the moment. Definitely a rusty and scary setup. Ends up not working out in the Kier's favor whatsoever here, and this is their round to lose now in Envysion Esports. Gabe might just actually want to try saving this. Scar is still pushing up, and again, loses his life for it. Gabe, meanwhile, is nowhere to be found. nowhere to trade it out, and it's a 1-on-5. He's not going to go for this, but at the same time, you have to wonder where that push went wrong. It's just really interesting to me because Zakir had a lot of map control, it seemed, but just didn't seem to want to take any of it. By take it, I mean, you know, capitalize on any of that whatsoever. They're going to be saving the op, which is, it's kind of the silver lining here, if anything, but the fact that the round was just that quiet really is strange. It's not something that you would expect at all, really. It doesn't make sense from a T's POV. They had a lot of long control for a while. They were committing some flashbangs to it, but ended up nothing ended up happening. Because that, JT has a AWP to work with, will be boosted up onto these flower pods very early on. T's, meanwhile, don't exactly have any map control to speak of. They're starting to seize it. Mid is essentially in their control right now, and Turner, who's waiting up in bathrooms, hears this all. JT, meanwhile, is still looking over towards long, so no longer will be a problem, at least for this round. Interesting to note, Sins is being boosted up over on A. Didn't find anything, so they're most likely going to start pushing into this very, very soon. Turner finds that essential kill onto Mersive. Again, another one of the players to watch. He's been having some insane games recently. I actually had a chance to look at one of his demos, and really he's kind of one of the linchpins for the Cure. Finds a lot of essential frags that are definitely needed to push into sites, and that's what happens when you don't have someone like him to play with. Oh, nice boost on top of bathrooms here. Unfortunately, JT isn't able to get that shot into bathrooms. Gabe finally responds with a kill here, but it's a 4 versus 3. Time is not exactly on their side. They have plenty of it to work with, don't get me wrong here, but at the same time, surely the CTs will be able to take advantage of this. Gabe is low on HP here, and that Molotov out towards the planting position might actually cause him his death. Another frag goes the way of the Cure right now. It's now 3-on-3 here. Bomb finally gets planted with 20 seconds left, and here comes the retake. Scar is burning alive, has to commit a smoke to it. No more utility for the T's to work with, but it doesn't matter when the trades are happening all in the favor of the Cure right now. Eventually, it's going to be up to a 1 versus 2 for envysion Esports. Claire left to do it all with only 33 HP. He snuck around truck side right now, and I think he has no idea on where the players on the Cure are. They're both weak here, and what was that shot? That's absolutely unbelievable. I will have to get a POV look at that. That was one of the most insane shots. Like, just from the third person, he was looking somewhere completely different. You can tell even he was a little bit surprised about that one, shaking his head back and forth. Absolutely unbelievable heroics. Scar with a flashy shot to close things out here, but that's another situation where on the CT side, you might be having to kind of kick yourself a little. Over towards blue. What is going on for envysion Esports? How did they not have a little bit of a better setup for that? Luckily, JT's able to get the trade out, but he's going to lose his life just because they don't have the map control. This is looking awfully sloppy right now for envysion Esports, and the Cure, they're fine exploiting it. No such luck for regeneration either as they lose their life. PWD and Claire, again, have to take the brunt of this push here, but they don't exactly know where it's going. The bomb is actually over towards B. Gabe has it in hand. Oh, excuse me, bomb is actually going over towards long. Just quick frags all across the board. The Cure really just picking away at envysion Esports one by one. No trouble whatsoever. It's important to mention that I believe in ESEA IM, the regular season, they did have something like a 10-6 record, while envysion Esports had 11-5, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on those numbers, but you know, going into the postseason playoffs, these teams are relatively matched. And the Cure has actually had a slightly better postseason so far, and envysion Esports is still showing off that they have plenty of prowess of their own. Picks up a couple. Dropping 2 players in the midst of that anti-eco round, but it's a win for them nonetheless. It's a quick and dusty one, but it's another round in the favor of the Cure, and really, they just need to keep collecting as many rounds as they possibly can here. They've already made a significant showing on the T side of Overpass here. Definitely not too bad for them, but if they can start chaining together more and more rounds, if they can like officially win this half with that round differential, that would be huge. Seeing 3 players commit over to the B site very, very early on with double Molotovs as well from the T side. And immediately, water control is being taken by the side of the Cure right now, but they've sustained some heavy damage right now, and things are going to get scary and awfully stunted for this push here. PWD, who's looking over by Monster, seemed to look away at just the wrong time. Didn't catch any players. All in water right now. Almost the entirety of the Cure is waiting. A good nade on their face might take down 2 of them, honestly. The Cure are going to have to make this an excellent execute. Just based off of HP, it's a massive favor for envysion Esports here. But, I mean, they do have those one-shot weapons. They do have triple Kriegs in play. Definitely every favor that you can hope for starting to come into effect. PKD is going to be the first face over towards Monster. Can't exactly react to the shot, and the frags go all the way of the Cure right now. It's a pristine take from them onto the B site. And as we enter the post plant, I'm not even sure if JT or Turner are going to commit to this. They've invested quite a bit of money to it. I'm sure JT might just be escorting his teammate over, perhaps that he can upgrade to an M4, but at this point the committing is going to be too little too late from envysion Esports here. That retake went perfectly in favor of the Cure. And no problems whatsoever dealing with, or excuse me, with the fact that they had plenty of players with low HP. And because of that, the Cure are going to be granted another round. That's about as perfect as you can get it. No one going down to bomb either. I see Turner's not even going for a gun in this post plant. He's happy with his FAMAS. FAMAS recently has seen a little bit of a change. It's now significantly cheaper by $200 or $300, I believe. 200 that is. And also has gotten a little bit of a spray adjustment as well, so I guess it makes sense to see it saved if it's going to become a little more of a powerful weapon to work with here. But what is this? Right off the bat, the Cure are pushing immediately in towards B here, and this actually might be a recipe for death here. Mersive wants to stop it completely, though. Picks up 2. Gabe with another one as well. All my worries have been completely put away, as all of envysion Esports have been eliminated almost entirely here. Regeneration, surprisingly, is still in this round, though. Has found a little bit of damage with this USP, but he can't exactly chase for that M4. And burning alive. These Molotovs are unbelievably oppressive, suffocating from the Cure. And it's going to grant them another round here, only dropping 1 player this time, so already doing pretty damn good. Turner has to be a little bit scared here. I know he's not going to go for the Ninja, but perhaps he can upgrade his gun to an M4. Have a little bit of a better toy to play with heading into round number 11. No, he doesn't even want to go for that. I'm actually kind of surprised. That would be like a perfect opportunity for you to try to upgrade to an M4, but doesn't seem to be on the agenda. They're the ones playing in the IM playoffs, not me. And that, the Cure have officially won the half on the T side here. They're looking very, very healthy here. Plenty of players are just absolutely stacked on money. Mersive is topping the scoreboard, and JT on the side of envysion Esports. Again, my 2 players to watch seem to be stepping up for their teams immensely here. JT is going to take a different approach this time around, over towards mid, and actually finds a frag immediately. So immediate 4 versus 5 before Mersive cleans things up and takes down the Opper over towards mid. Now it's right back in the favor of the Cure here, as they secured some map control and have essentially split the defense of the CTs. Gabe trying to prod in over towards bathrooms here, is taking all the necessary steps that he needs to take. A smoke will go out over towards CT as well. Now things are at a little bit of a standstill right now, forcing the CTs to use some of their utility. But a frag will go the way of Dalton, who has prodded his way out towards B site. Now they have a little bit more room to play with. Claire is going to be their only trouble, and he's just going to be swiftly dealt with here. Dalton with a nice response as well, making this even cleaner and cleaner for the Cure here. They still have 4 people remaining into this post plant. Again, it's Turner left alone. This is really rough. He might find a frag on immersive here. Oh, that reload has essentially given away his position, though, and surely he's not going to get away with this one. No such luck for you. Immersive cleans things up here. Perfectly fine on his AK as well. And hey, what's up, Amric? It's been a while. I'm just casting a match. Casting a match right now, my dude. A match that it seems the Kier have completely started to run away with. I believe this is their map pick as well. Let me go ahead and try to take a look at the matchup here at the schedule. That way I can actually get a good solid take and see if this was indeed a map pick. Let's see, yes, I believe this was the map pick for the Kier since they are the 19th seed heading to IM playoffs here, and envysion Esports are the 13th. So the Kier get map 1 pick here, and well, they seem to be delivering pretty damn well, at least so far. See a lot of players heading immediately over towards B for the side of the Kier here. Claire is pushing in over towards blue, trying to get some of that connector presence very early on, but again, it's this double commit into water. Doesn't seem to work out at all for envysion Esports. The B site already given up. Just like that. JT's going to go ahead and try to do a little bit of damage, but it's no such luck. No one's there to back him up. No one's there to trade him out. And just like that, the round's over. Surely they can't commit to this. It's going to be a 2 versus 5, and about to get that bomb plant down as well. Sins, I think he might have spotted Turner there. There's the bomb plant that I'm talking about here, and this has become even more considerably hard for envysion Esports as, well, Turner will fall. Claire is left alone. Dalton. No such spotting for him. Claire, kind of in a one-and-done position, though. Surely he's going to be traded out right here, but it would be nice if he could upgrade to a rifle here. He's actually finding more, hunting a little bit more. Unfortunately, can't quite finish up that frag, but everyone will be there to go ahead and keep him safe, and that's going to be another round on the board for the Kier. Have officially gotten up to double digits now. Stuff like that that really makes you think how the Kier are getting away with this. It just seems like they had no trouble whatsoever pushing into water there. Envysion Esports, I feel like taking these fights very early on, and some of the map control that the Kier like to take is not working out in their favor whatsoever. And it seems to be backfiring massively. You see water controls being taken again. Claire, unfortunately, just a little bit late on the spam. There's the smoke for sandbags. Spam still coming through. Claire, plenty of bullets to work with here. It's no problem there. And regeneration. Oh, they're going to be going for a reverse boost. This is great, but unfortunately, it bears no fruits. Because of that, envysion Esports are still stuck in this difficult place here. They can't really go for that again. Surely, all the teams are going to be watching for it, but it would be good for information. Even if regeneration wanted to go for a jump shot or something of the like. And, oh, hello there, Dalton. Despite going up against an op, is going to win that duel. Dolt has been a pain in the side of envysion Esports right now. Nothing has really been going the way of them. So I guess that's almost a given. Looks like we are going to be seeing some smoke come through for Bank in particular here. CTs will have to deal with this, though, because the rotates aren't exactly there just yet. They're going to have to stall for time, if nothing else. There's the first frag. It's actually traded out almost immediately. So we have a almost even man situation. Make it now favorable for envysion Esports, but just like that, already back in favor of the Kier here. This post plant, envysion Esports can't seem to chain together any multi-frags, and doesn't seem to happen this round either here. 2-11, the Kier are absolutely dominant right now. Having no such trouble, no such problem whatsoever with running away with overpass right now, and this is on the T side too. This isn't even the CT side where we see a lot of crazy streaks happen. Envysion, they're going for something different though. The CTs are going to start playing, it looks like Claire, just judging from this position, is either going to play close monster or close water. Actually opting for neither one of them. PWD has a pop flash ready for himself, but no team play around it. PWD spots no one, already a player down. Almost none of these gunfights are going in favor of envysion Esports right now. They're just getting picked off one by one. JT's left alone over towards long, but all the action is happening towards B. JT, what can you really do here? He's going to pick up a dig. Plenty of bullets to play with, but no one's there. It's all over towards B. JT Surely he's going to be trying to go for some sort of gun to play with here. The money, they're on max loss bonus. The CTs are gonna be able to get a buy-in no matter what here. That's not the worry, but the worry is actually getting some of the rounds together, because this is about to be 2-12, and we're staring down the barrel of a 13-2 half if the Kier keep up this form that they're currently showing off. I think another big takeaway from that, though, is that really the Kier hasn't had to use much utility whatsoever. If you notice, Sins, Merciv, and Scar pretty much have full utility. They don't even have to buy up too much heading into the next round. Only the people using much of anything is Stolt. Oh, hello there, JT. That's a nice prize that you just stumbled upon. Takes down Sins, and just like when I was talking about, he had no utility. It's the only player they end up dropping, and I mean, that's probably the best player you could have picked off. Sure, it would have been nice to have a Krieg or something to play with, but a double up heading into the last round of half, I mean, hopefully you'll be able to pick up that elusive third round, since you'll really be struggling to find much of any of them. This is such an interesting setup, a triple commit into connector here. Scar might be in for a nasty surprise when the smoke dissipates. Keep an eye on him. Doing a little bit of spam, actually finds some accurate spam, excuse me, takes down Claire through the smoke. It's a show and tell show, but unfortunately, there's no show. PWD, quick response, evens things up, but Dalton still is this massive pain. Lurking over towards A, or towards B rather. As Sins picks up another shot as well, Turner might be the next face to fall. They're not watching the flank though, and this could perhaps come back to bite the Kier. The execute will happen in towards A, where the CTs will be waiting. It's no problem there, but really Turner, with that AUG, is finally going to make some magic work. It's 3 versus 3, but Bomb is still solidly in the hands of Gabe right now. And he's in their backline completely. He doesn't have to go for this whatsoever. Dolt, he's still over towards B and has practically taken a lot of information by himself. If he stays up for a little bit longer, he might have gotten that kill onto PWD, but fortunately, it's too little too late. Picking up a double will be Envision's. But they still have 2 more players to go here, one of which has a bomb, and the other of which has an AWP over towards Heaven. So they already have a good crossfire going. B site essentially cleared. Gabe is going to go for a safe plant. Sins will be watching the back of his teammate. As we enter a post plant here, Envision Esports, this is a retake they need to win. They're favored to win it. Now they need to actually capitalize on the play. Unfortunately, no such luck for Sins as he drops almost immediately. It's up to Gabe in a 1-on-3. Finds the first without any trouble whatsoever. The bomb, he knows exactly where it's planted, so he can play with that too. Gabe, here's a bunch of footsteps from Regeneration, who is pushing out of Heaven right now. Bomb has been stuck, or bomb has been tapped, excuse me, but Gabe is in the perfect location. Taps away at PKT, now leaving it all up to Regeneration here. This is Gabe's round to lose, and he doesn't struggle at all. A triple kill for him. A fantastic 1 versus 3 clutch, and really, if that's not a succinct summary of the half, I don't know what is. The Kier absolutely dominant on Overpass so far. Perfect way to close things out too. Gabe, you gotta be smiling after that one here. Have essentially secured almost a perfect half, really only dropping 2 rounds that entire ordeal. One of which was very early on. Can't get much better than that here. Surely Envision Esports are gonna start talking about things a little bit. What went wrong? And if anything, what went right? There wasn't really much, that's for sure. But they have to keep their heads up. Heading into the T side here, the Kier will now be on the statistically favored half of Overpass here. On their map pick, sure, but if you're running, I mean, this doesn't even feel like it's a matter of map picks. Sure, they're pulling out some interesting strats every now and then, but really, this just feels like straight up outplaying. I mean, I think back to one of those rounds where the Kier failed to lose a single player as they picked away at Envision Esports 1 by 1. They were flawless in just winning every single gunfight, coming out on top in every single sense of the word. If they keep up that form, I can see them closing this out 16-2. I've said it before and I'll say it again though, you can't count your chickens before they hatch though. As you see, no one's over towards Fountain. They're starting to commit a lot less. All the action is happening over towards B, where Dolt will be waiting. and hiding in water here. This should be a free plant in favor of the T's right now. Dalton commits a bit too much. Unfortunately, doesn't protect their bomb. Planter! Dalton is actually doing magic! Picks up 3 of them. And oh my goodness, this all fell apart here. PWD is going to have to ace this if he wants to win the round for his team. He does pretty damn good. Picks up 2 of them. It's all up to Mersive now. It's just been a battle of individual plays here. He's done pretty damn well so far, but he needs one more. It's on to Mersive, the player to watch. It would be an ace for PWD here. Bomb has been planted. Mersive nowhere to be found. PWD has plenty of space to find a suitable post-plant position for him. It's been gorgeous shots all the way around. Mersive has a kit to work with. This has to be solidly in his favor here, but you have to be hoping for PWD just a little bit here. It would have given Envysion Esports a chance back into this game, a chance back on Overpass. We've seen Neo do magic from this place here. Let's see if he can recreate magic. Mersive is holding the bomb. He has a kit though. PWD. Oh, you have to. The Shazam's here. Doesn't get it, unfortunately. It's an ace. Oh, but it's a bittersweet feeling. The Cure are still able to get away with the round because of that ninja defuse. And that's definitely something you got to be looking back on and kicking yourself for. That was absolutely absurd. Down to the last second, literally. But eventually it is going to go in favor of the Cure here. Envysion Esports, surely you're going to be talking about that. But PWD, maybe you're going to be the one doing all the scolding here because he did everything he possibly could. He picked up 5 kills in that pistol round. Absolutely absurd play from him, but no one else was able to secure even a single frag. Really, it's a bittersweet feeling. Again, I think that's the only way to describe it. PWD, he's going to be buying up a Krieg here. I mean, I guess you can't really blame him. When he just popped off, go ahead and enable yourself as much as you possibly can here. Envysion Esports, since he did get that bomb down, seemed to be wanting to commit to a full buy here. Or a forced buy here, as much as you possibly can. You can't really piece together too much utility here unless you're looking at Clayar, who would have to opt for half armor and a smoke. Okay, well, Envysion Esports not exactly setting themselves up for success here. Don't have a ton of utility. On the side of the Cure, though, it's not that much of a different situation. As you see, only 4 players have it. Gabe opting for none at all, really. Double kits in play. But really, with how they've been doing this, I don't see the Cure struggling whatsoever here. They lost that pistol round. Or they won that pistol round, but nearly lost it just because of some of the heroics that we're seeing. Bolton isn't going to find any information. That aggressive smoke, though, actually might have come back to hurt them, though, because all the action is happening over towards long, where PWD in charge. Got 5 kills last round. Wants to see if he can up the ante this time around. As he spots one player. Does not over towards bank, though. I'm not sure if he's aware of Mersive's positioning, but he'll find it out just now, though. Mersive knows exactly what's going on, though. Gabe and Mersive both taken down immediately. Now the A site belongs to Envysion Esports. Sins stuck in CT. Will have his teammate left to play with him. He's actually in a really aggressive position, though. They found 1 kill onto Turner. Resmoke comes through. Sins will be happy to push right past it, taking down PWD. This retake is actually starting to begin, and it's starting to look good for the Cure right now. The Scar, excuse me, the Cure, Scar will be last alive here. Tries to tap them down, but unfortunately can't quite hit the shots. It's a little bit of a scare at the end, but eventually the T's will run away with that round. Not without sustaining some heavy damage, though, dropping quite a few of their players here, getting some of the Galils down. Luckily, the utility usage from Envysion Esports seemed to be on point there. That double resmoke over towards CT. Sure, it mounted in PWD's death, but ended up being a net benefit for them. PWD, unfortunately, wasn't able to pull off magic like he was on the pistol round here. Things are at a standstill. You see the Cure going for an interesting setup over towards B. They have a double stack on the site with one player over towards barrels, the other also towards barrels. And Sins drops immediately. He's found a little bit of information, but that's really about it. Bomb in the hands of JT. It looks like they actually want to rotate over to B here. Maybe they've outplayed themselves, though, because pretty much everyone on the Cure are going to be ready for this. Mersive will have that water rotation. If he can pick up one player here, that would be massive, but timing isn't in their favor. Scar over towards barrels will be the first phase to have to deal and welcome all the T's into their bomb site here. He's good for one, not good for a second though, but Dalton, he's still in this. He's still in the barrels position. He's struggling to find the shots, eventually gets it, but it's only that one kill, and Gabe, yeah, he knows that he has no chance into this. Maybe if he can upgrade to a fancier pistol, maybe if he can have a little more to work with, sure, but PWD, wow, loses his life in an instant. That's how it feels to be on the receiving end of a playmaking shot like that. Gabe now pushing in, loses his life, but again, that's still some considerable damage onto envysion Esports here. They're down to 2 players at the very end of that ordeal, and well, when you have to mount a comeback of this favor, you need to get all the money together that they possibly can here. Considering if envysion Esports lose pretty much any round, they will be in a very, very bad spot. Not only will they be up against match point here, but they won't exactly have a ton of money to work with either. As you see, they're already kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel here. They will be getting 1,400. The Cure, meanwhile, stuck on a save of their own here, is going to be trying to go for some heroics over towards A. Bolton has a shot, or excuse me, has a flash ready. And Clayar might be the unlucky recipient of all the blinding damage. Unfortunately, no, the Cure only able to find 2, excuse me. I say 2, but it's actually 3. And the trades are actually going significantly in favor of them. Luckily, Clayar is going to go ahead and ground envysion Esports back to reality as he picks up a quad kill and makes it 5 for envysion Esports. Showing signs of life on the T side of Overpass here, but things are about to get serious now. There's now going to be some more heavy artillery in play. And the fact that, again, envysion Esports lost so many players, as well as not getting the bomb down, means that unless they pull off something crazy, if they lose this round, they're almost guaranteed to lose the follow-up. You see water control is trying to be seized immediately from the side of the CTs, but Sins is completely blind, and really, envysion Esports are fine with this. They're just going to take all the fights and win every single one of them. Gabe and Mersive are not ready. Trying to go for this retake here. And envysion Esports, not only did they get the bomb down, but they get it down in a 4-on-2 situation here. So this is the first solid round that really I think we've seen from envysion Esports so far this half. Sure, they've won every single round, but it's always been with, you know, 2 or 3 players, or 2 or 1 player even left alive. It hasn't been exactly clean. Seems to be changing of the seasons though, as they are going to be mostly getting out of this one unscathed, only dropping JT, who's a solid middle of the pack player right now, it seems, just glancing at the scoreboard. Sitting in bathrooms. We see the Cured still at that 14 mark. Can't quite piece together the last 2, and I don't think this will be the round to do it either. They have their max loss bonus in play now, but it's still not enough to chain together a buy. Sins and Mersive, since they have saved their guns here, actually will be dropping it to teammates and choosing to force up into this one. It's not the prettiest buy in the world, and honestly, I'm not exactly sure if I agree with this. This is definitely a lot of confidence showing right now that they can win these gunfights, and how can you blame them when Sins is going to hit shots like that? Hello there. Immediate double just off the bat. Left scrambling, Clayar is going to get 1 kill for his trouble, but Sins, not only does he have bomb down, but he's already been the highlight player of this. He could even find more if he wanted to. Everyone will be rotating around the bomb. Sins has perhaps found the round-winning, perhaps a map-winning play, just like that. Again, at the same time, though, you have to be thinking, what were envysion Esports hoping for there? That was some really strange blue control that they were trying to take here. Ended up just lining up for each other. 14-6. envysion need every single round here in order to close things out without overtime. And really, if they drop this round, the best they can secure is overtime. Either way, you're staring down something very, very scary. envysion Esports, it looks like they're heavily banking on Clayar right now. Oh, he's read this. Oh, that's perfect. Just taps away at 2 of them here. Another kill goes away of Mersive, though. And back to reality we are. Luckily, Sins will find a shot to keep things alive here. He's been the magic man of the hour here as they pick up another round finally after a long drought. But that was almost scary again for a while. Clayar almost went massive with that flank. He picked up 2, but it wasn't good enough for his team to capitalize on. And in the end, the Cure are going to be able to get on 15 here. Only 1 round away from taking map number 1. And what a fashion to do it as well. Sin. Absolutely crazy, the kind of heroics he pulled off. It looks like he's not going to be trying to recreate history this time, though. He's going to go in towards water. It's an aggressive position. It's actually going to be good for a kill here. Oh, but he's hungry for more, and he's going to be able to bite down on 1 more player here. Perhaps a 3rd here. Unfortunately, no. We'll be punished in the end, though. Flying a bit too close to the sun for that one. On response, though, will be Turner. Now the B site belongs to the T's. They should be able to get a bomb plant here without any trouble. But the retake, this could be scary for the Kier here, especially with that Molotov with a grenade right behind it going down here. Merciv needs to hit this shot. If Turner were to peek his body just a little bit here. Merciv can't run scope right now, though, because both T's are going to commit right into you. Gabe, left alone, only finds 1, nearly a double, but Turner was a hero that round by far. Not only did he get the bomb plant, but he gets up a quadra kill as well. Keeping Envision Esports in this, if just for a little bit longer. Board, he sees Merciv is still the hero of the queue right now, sitting at 20 kills. The only player in the server, I should mention, at 20 kills. They're going to be forced onto a Desert Eco. A little bit of armor committed as well. A single flashbang in the hands of Gabe, most likely going to be going up for a set play for his teammate. Unfortunately, no. This is a bit disjointed, perhaps, from the Cure, excuse me. But I guess it doesn't matter when you're able to hit a shot like that. That's all you're going to be able to hit, though. It's 3v3. You have that number. But that's it. Sins might have heard that player over towards bathroom here. But it doesn't matter what you hear unless you actually start hitting shots. Unless you can finally get those man advantages in your favor. Double smokes will be committed over towards the A site here. That's going to start the push for the T side here. But they aren't looking the wrong way. They're looking all the wrong ways. Sins again. Just piles them up, picks up 3. Has me scrambling over my words, and my God, do they have the T scrambling over theirs as well. He's been pulling off some of the craziest plays. Collateral after crazy 3-stack. This is what happens when you don't check your corners. It's going to come back to bite them right in their ass here. And the Kier are going to be able to pick up their first map, excuse me. It's their choice, and I can't even believe something like that. That was absolutely absurd. That's not something you can ever count on, but here I am being confused, dazed and confused, just like pretty much everyone was. Unbelievable heroics from them. Ends up concluding into a map win here. We are going to go ahead and toss it to a break before we get into map number 2. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name has been Ito. We'll see you very, very soon. I just want to let you guys know real quick, the Go TV does seem to be broken for map number 2. We're trying to get this fixed ASAP here. But I want to thank you guys for your patience. We'll be back soon, hopefully. They say you have to make lemonade out of lemons here, and well, we are doing just that here. We are watching the coach feed right now of the Kier versus envysion Esports, so we are going to see some nasty ass quality, but well, we work with what we got surely. Watching Mersive right now, rotating all the way through CT.
Walking out banana.
A little bit of calls coming in for through banana as well, so you have to imagine the Kier are going to be ready for this, but they're down 2 players, so that immediately is going to stunt things, make them harder at the very least.
Lane.
We saw them pull off some heroics on overpass here. We have to think that they can possibly try to recreate it. Mersive has no such luck here. Ends up going down. Scar is the last face on the A site here where all of envysion Esports, I would imagine at least, want to be pushing in right now. One player jumps into pit. His head actually seems to clip through the balcony. Scar is going to be granted a frag, is ready on the trigger. Takes down regeneration here. Retake coming through from the CT sides. And Gabe and Scar don't even want to commit to this whatsoever here. You can't exactly fault them for that.
Can you hold my ult mid? Or just make sure you can't get in
It's interesting hearing the team comms.
Yeah.
Definitely is not something I'm used to. But either way, that's going to be a save up for the Kier here, excuse me, as Scar might want to look to upgrade out of that M4, because if you could pick up an AK, that'd be nice. But for the most part, though, envysion Esports seem to be running away with Inferno so far. It's important to keep in mind that this is the map pick of envysion Esports here. So, I mean, theoretically, on paper, this is what you would hope. This is what you'd expect here. Looks like we are seeing a tactical pause come out of the Kier. They want to talk about things. Coach Nix, who is going ahead and letting us actually cast this game, actually letting us watch this game because of lovely GoTV failure, is making this happen right now. I think they're talking about what they want to buy up right now. Their money is in kind of a strange situation right now. They could force up FAMASas and a little bit of utility. It wouldn't be pretty. Realistically, I'm not exactly sure if it would be more than Desert Eco. Yeah, it looks like they're thinking the same thing as I am here. We see Mersive and Dalton buying down to under 2,000 here. Sins is still healthy, though. Most likely wants to pick up that AWP. You saw some crazy heroics coming from Sins on map number 1 here. Got that very important collateral kill. That ended up helping close out the match, and as well as that triple dig. But, well, that's on AWP. Therefore, not theirs to deal with here. A little bit of shots coming out from Gabe over towards Banana. Most likely hears that there's a player at least trying to push up on him here. Gonna go ahead and allow them to have that space here. Not exactly sure if that's something I agree with here, but this is a good switch up here. Mersive will be boosted up on flower pots here. 3 players committed over towards A as well. Esports. I'd imagine right now they're just trying to hold their line over towards Banana as well. Maybe slowly prodding up here. Gabe over towards the top of car. Or over towards the top of Coffin, excuse me. Seems to be looking for any players who are going to peek out here. I believe the first face will be, well, not exactly sure since we didn't see the kill come through here, but I would imagine it's Claire or JT here, both of which, for some reason, the Kier are actually being able to get away with here. This is an eco round. This shouldn't be happening. JT finally responds from 1, but this is actually absurd. This is happening too little too late. envysion Esports are starting to strike back at the very last moment, seem to be caught off guard completely by where the Kier are playing. And they might have essentially won this eco round here. They have every tool possible to work with it here. They've upgraded rifles. Artillery is no longer a problem here. Dalton will close things out over towards balcony, and that is a surprising eco win.
Let's do the run boost.
It's not something you can ever expect, but it does seem to be working out just fine in their favor here. Kier finally getting that elusive second round on the board here. Early game on Inferno. On the CT side here, it would be very important for them to chain together, well, I mean, obviously as many rounds as they possibly can here. The best that they can hope for is 10-5. Okay, Romance, the first map was won by the Kier 16-6, I believe it was. Or 16-7.
Nice, Gabe.
Gabe immediately chimes in with a double kill. Flashes going through, trying to stall for as much time as he can, but Gabe is in a very strong position. There's plenty of utility from the CT side to completely hold off this push here. PWD strikes in with a kill, but not before Sins gets his just desserts as well. You see PWD finding a nice shot onto Dalton. 2 versus 2 now. Sins is in a strong spot to stop any possible bomb planter. However, envysion Esports still have plenty of time to push in here. This is no such worry for them. Scar is ready on the rotate though, over towards the A site here. And thing is, so envysion Esports, he could go for a double commit. Or a double fake, rather. Doesn't matter whatsoever. The Kier will go ahead, quickly clean up, and finish off a couple of rounds just like that. No such problem for them.
Can you drop one down? An AUG? AUG?
Go for the banana.
I'll flash for him.
Yeah,
Number 9 coming through. I would imagine both teams are going to be able to buy up here. They ended up not getting that bomb down in envysion Esports here, so it is a little bit of question mark in their favor. The Kier are looking perfectly fine, though. No such worries for them here.
Probably all mid.
See Sins pushing out. Feels really weird not to have to spectate my own game like I normally do. Bolton tossing out a grenade. Trying to snuff out any sort of early A execute that they want to set up as Sins rotates over. AWP in hand. AWP in stow. But no crazy plays are needed just yet.
Do you want us to rotate?
This is a pretty strong setup. You see double players over towards Boiler here. Dalton surprisingly doesn't lose his life as he tosses it on Molotov. Gets a kill on top of that as well. Over towards balcony, you see Scar, but still they have 2 players anchoring over towards B. Rotates aren't there just yet, nor will they most likely ever have to be, because it seems that envysion Esports have immediately slowed this down. Oh, Dalton has just gotten so much information over at A though. B most likely is going to be the final destination for envysion Esports here. Their main goal definitely has to be getting this bomb down. Again though, it is important to know that envysion Esports still have plenty of time to work with here, but they have a player in Dalton who was pushing out, and unfortunately team kill coming out from envysion Esports, interestingly enough. It's actually going to make things a little bit sweeter for them. It's a 4 versus 3. They're having some interesting commits to CTs. You see Sin seems to be a little bit confused about his position, but it's no such problem. Gabe is still perfectly primed. Rotates coming through. Again, this does have to be the final destination. Envysion Esports, they can't start rotating back anymore, or if they do, they will be punished. Seems they'll be punished either way though. Kier, they will be able to clear. Well, you can see definitely a little bit of frustration coming out from the Kier right now. Can you blame them, though? Definitely seem to be a little bit agitated early on, but they're getting these rounds together. They're keeping competitive with envysion Esports, and already this is better than what we were seeing at the very beginning of Inferno. Looks like Sins might be going for a boost over the half wall. No, he's going for an aggressive car peek. Loses half of his HP. In that ordeal. I'm not sure if that was exactly worth it. They do get a tiny bit of information, but nothing really worth writing home about, especially since Gabe is going to be doing just fine peeking it down. Claire is going to find the first kill. That's on to Gabe, the player over towards Car. Mercive forced to back up immediately. Has that M4 to work with here. Sins will be there to try to save the day just a little bit. That AWP plus plenty of utility to play with. Will be most likely rotating over towards Coffin, but envysion Esports, again, they have this 4 versus 5 so early on the round that they have plenty of time to rotate. They have plenty of time to pull a fake just like they were for that last round. Now, of course, it didn't work out for envysion last time, and doesn't seem to have much better luck this time, because Claire goes down immediately, evening up this situation that they have. Mercive forced down to an unlikely and unfortunate position. Molotov coming out, and envysion Esports immediately starting this A execute. Scar is ready to receive. Finds one, and Dalton finds a second. Taking care of this push for now. But it's not over just yet, though, because both the players of envysion Esports are available over towards Porch side. And JT is actually going huge right now. Picks up 2, but there's still 2 more players of the Kier left to find before this ordeal is over. There's 30 seconds left to play with here, but JT was not expecting the Porch push. Score will be tied 5-5 here. The Kier striking back with a vengeance here. Finally able to chain some rounds together and keep things competitive on Inferno.
Matt, I'm gonna play Moto Call the
At the same time, this is something that you would have to hope to see from the Kier, considering even though this is a map pick of envysion, this is, you know, statistically and historically CT sided. But these aren't pro teams that we're dealing with here. We're dealing with 2 ESEA intermediate teams, both of which have done pretty fantastic in the postseason so far. I believe both of them posting a 3-1 record so far, I believe.
Flashing.
Close.
Yeah, he's there in the
I'm
cubby.
gonna rotate.
Definitely some goods and bads to take from it. That flash play, unfortunately, didn't seem to work out from Scar. A bit too late on the call there. Scar is going to go ahead, choose not to take any information from that.
Flash in the halls.
And we'll be watching a boiler position instead.
Close
You
second.
see a lot of rotates happening over from the Kier here because essentially Merciv has found so much information because of this boosted half-wall position over towards Banana. And while there's going to look for even more, Scar spots so many players right now. The time, again, is in the favor of envysion Esports here, but it looks like envysion don't want to play around anymore. They don't want to commit anymore. Dalton will go ahead and snuff things out before they even have a chance, but Claire strikes back. Massive frag of his own. It actually picks up a second. It's down to 1 versus 2 situation here, and again, they're just not ready for this porch push.
Dude, Dan, if you didn't miss that first flash, oh my god, I might have owned.
Good
And then
shit.
So
consider I
on.
threw it too late.
And
Run.
looks
Yeah,
like
I
they're
threw it too later, I literally
thinking
missed
about
They missed
Dropping
it.
out grade?
all the different scenarios that possibly could have happened during that round, but either way, it's a round win for the Kier. That's what you can definitely take from it. envysion Esports,
Oh, Molly.
Alright, you want me to smoke it first?
they've struggled for the past few
Wait,
rounds.
figure out the...
Now's the time for something to be put together here, but this might not be a round to do it.
Smoke.
I'm gonna
Their
throw
money, I
it.
believe, is
Wow.
still be a little bit low here since they didn't guarantee that bomb plant. Plus only losing, or plus the Kier only lost a couple of players, so they don't have that kill bonus either. This is most likely a tough round for envysion Esports, made a little bit easier because of the
Molly's
soften
one, dude.
from Dalton. Down to about half HP. If they're running
Smoke it.
pistols, might put him within 1 dink range. And that could pay dividends, as long as it just allows a bomb plant or something from envysion Esports. But it looks like this is a full buy here, and it looks like they are going up A as well. Dalton backs up that position.
I'm hiding grave.
I really do need. You know what? I had speech therapy before, dude.
I have no
It's
I just threw regular flash.
Right, space.
I don't know, dude. I guess
They're gonna try
I've
to take arch.
regressed a lot
They're going
recently.
into
Feels
CT.
bad, man.
Dropping pit.
It's definitely a B split.
They're going arch. Arch to B.
Nice.
I'm pushing up
One
lane.
more. CT. 2 CT. 2 CT. Bomb CT.
Regeneration. Getting a frag here.
I'm coming
Has that bomb in
construction
hand here, but
Smoke
Merciv is in a perfect
fight,
position
fight
to
CT.
take care of this before this push even starts from envysion Esports. The wrap doesn't seem to be working out. Unfortunately, though, it works
on
out
site,
and
right?
bears some
Double
fruits
blind?
of its own, though.
First
orange.
orange.
It's a 3 versus 3 on this
Wait for my
retake.
contact, you
I'm
right there.
flashing behind you, Dalton.
Dalton
Get ready
flash.
to go to the contact.
Information given. Retake
Emo.
not working out so
Snake,
far.
he's
The
dead,
Krieg
he's
comes
dead.
out perfectly in
No way.
favor.
Going with you.
CT is
just
now
a little bit
struggling
out of there.
to close out this round here. Scar
Emo
sprays
lit.
down, gets one.
Swing it.
Knows where
Emo's
another
one.
player is over towards Emo. Bomb smoked out. Scar pushing up, trying to even this up. Does the job just fine here. And now defusing the bomb.
Emo.
Emo.
That player over towards Emo is a double kit towards Emo. Unfortunately, Claire comes out on top of that one. All evened up 6 to 6 now. envysion Esports
Fucking
looking
game,
clean.
so.
Do you hear me?
It's fine.
Yeah.
Can I get a drop?
It's hard to
Yeah.
say they're looking clean, I suppose,
I'll see the run boost across.
as they seem to just scramble out of that round at the last possible moment,
Flash you
but
or come with you?
it's a round win nonetheless.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you
Gonna
can
play
keep it
standby.
competitive on Inferno here, that would mean a lot for them. Since
He's
good
hacked.
boost up, unfortunately the run boost doesn't amount into anything here.
Matt, can you go back to
Just
Bell?
a little damage on the Scar.
I'm close right?
Now we have a default
Push 'em in.
interesting,
So
I
you're
believe
not
this is a
Come
double
up and
pit
hold boiler. We don't need to
setup.
climb this
Yeah,
back
yep,
necessarily.
yep.
Just hold boiler.
Sins.
Okay, you can go to
Wants to
pit if
push
you
up a little more as Dalton might have a flash ready for it.
Smoke mid, smoke mid.
Dead?
Wow, what a good position from regeneration over towards Banana though. Takes out Merciv before he's
One
able to
up.
go
want. It's a
huge.
lurker, it's a
Gabe
lurker.
doesn't want to mess with this business whatsoever here. We'll
Banana.
take that
I'm very
AWP and
wrestling.
back up. Actually
Wait.
doubling back over towards
Car
Banana.
I don't see
I'm
it.
not sure if envysion Esports will be ready for this though.
Play
The
2-2.
double
Holding
op
close
is
to
in
this man.
play here. Sins
Wanna
is
boost
still
me
in a very strong position over towards,
no.
I believe it's Arches.
Holding arch, Matt.
Watching
Holding
the
this
wrap.
one?
You
That's
see
a wrap.
envysion Esports have been
back.
fond of this in the past here.
Offense.
Just doing it last round.
Flash.
Early flash comes
Flash
through
is
here,
fine.
but envysion Esports are pulling off this fake almost perfectly here, but it might not be good enough to actually
Wait, no.
fool the Cure.
Flashes A.
Yeah.
Jose
outside.
being called
on site.
Sins is
Yeah.
going to be ready
Only
for
one,
it though.
only one,
Picks
only
up the
one, yeah.
first
Safe,
one
safe,
on
safe.
PWD, but it is a fake. envysion Esports most
pressure.
likely have double back over towards B, and the rotates aren't there just yet. You see Gabe is ready just
to
in
this
time.
side.
Gets smoked out. Luckily Dalton's
Yes.
able to find one kill. Gabe with another with an
Oh, yeah.
AWP, and
Nice.
all the
Shit,
faces
guys.
fall.
Look at that.
Clean comms and clean kills indeed as the Cure are able
you
to
go,
take
my
back
queen.
that lead once more.
do the actual Fnatic.
7 to 6
setup.
now.
You want to go for the peak, Ryan? What you
I
doing?
definitely think Envision Esports, they did a
you say
good
yeah?
job at that fake, I feel,
You
but
wanna flash me?
unfortunately the execute into B at the very end was a little bit lackluster.
Up to the deep smoke too. After the flash.
The fake pulled 2 CTs over, but unfortunately just the shots didn't exactly connect for them any sort of way that they wanted to, and well, no such luck on this round either. Round number 14
Let's
seems to be
cross flash.
all for the Cure right now,
Actually, I'm
One
okay.
mid.
as they potentially cured their woes that they had in the beginning of Inferno here.
Get
Give me
towards
a flash
site.
trap.
Get towards site orange.
One mid.
Smoke over towards
Downside.
mid. Dalton
Downside.
nearly loses his life in the process of it,
Flashing lane.
perhaps
Downside.
playing with fire. And what
was
was up with that smoke?
Just get
Was
the-
that a smoke bug? That was interesting here. It looks like it was a lot lower
old
than a
times, man.
typical
Cross
smoke
fire.
would have been. That
Boiler.
has to hurt,
Nice.
but luckily
I'll get-
Scar will be there to clean up any
Need
sort
flash
of
out?
salty
Flash. Yeah,
worries
play
or
passive.
salty
You have
feelings that
pistols?
they
You
have.
rifles. You could drop it.
For 4 versus 2 in Vision Esports, this is most likely just an impossible round to win, really. It's hard to see that they, or hard to expect that they will come out on top, especially considering they don't have guns to work with. They have the one that Dalton dropped, but it's in
Careful
such a
out,
forward
Matt.
position, it's going to be hard to retrieve. In the first place, Sin's going to make
Pick up the
things
rifle.
even sweeter for his team here as they take down Regeneration. Last
just
face
sitting there.
alive for Envision Esports will need to go absolutely massive, and you can't
He's
really
close.
count on massive like that.
He's coming to you.
Coming through a PWD, doesn't even get that commit kill onto Scar. No damage done, in fact. And the Cure have officially won this half here. If they can make it 9-6, that would be really good, considering they're down
Let's win this
0-5 at one point.
Yep.
It'd be a pretty nice comeback for the CTs.
Brian, what you want?
Like, like there's some points like in a game where I will be
Come on.
coming for Mercy. But it's like, what are you gonna
Interesting
do?
hearing the
You gotta go
comms
there.
from the Cure here. Envision Esports, though, they have to put all their marbles into this
Flashes,
last
but I don't
round
like
of
their
the
push
half
up
here.
there.
They're going to force everything they possibly can here, and it looks like it's going to be a very quick pace here, as you see Envision Esports already forced to give up some of their positions, but Merciv comes out on top with an incredible double kill, soon to be a triple perhaps, as it looks like Envision Esports might be going into his waiting arms here, forced back up into construction. 3 versus 4 here. Bomb has still not been planted yet for Envision Esports. That allows for the rotate to happen from the Cure here. Sins, oh my goodness, he's pushing through the smoke here. He's not going to be granted the frag. Luckily, Regeneration is there to save his teammate's life here. 3 versus 3 made into a 3-on-2. Turner and Scar
Peeks me.
left alone, and no luck for them whatsoever.
It's all good. It was
And
last
Knicks
round.
are doing
Don't worry
just
about
fine on observing, don't worry. I know it's a bit tough to observe as well at the same time, but 1 being the major and 10 being what, Star Ladder? I'd say...
Apparently GoTV's down, so this
Te-
second map.
oh, damn, you don't like Prius, don't you?
I
Damn,
started
okay.
streaming and he's watching my stream.
Yeah,
I'm
and
actually going to
not
go
the-
ahead and
not the
recheck
guy
the IP
we
real quick.
advertised.
Let me go ahead and see if this actually works. That'd be really
He was
nice if it
watching yours
did.
too?
Let's see.
Oh.
Is he streaming it or what?
Yeah, he's streaming my stream.
Can't see the input. Yeah, I mean, all things considered, considering what you're working with, I think you're doing just fine, in all honesty.
Streaming your stream?
I just kind of have to
Casting
guess
my-
what Envision Esports are doing here. I was able to read that
Yeah, he's
fake that they're
casting
going for,
his
but that's really
POV.
about it.
Yeah. 'cause
Wait, that means
And-
it's live.
GoTV still doesn't work, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, good.
So GoTV still doesn't work, unfortunately for us. We work with what we got. Maybe. All right, I'm gonna try retrying it one more time.
It's still 7-6 right now.
Luckily, as you can hear in the background, halftime hasn't ended just yet here. Looks like we're 2 players away. 1 player away. Gabe is the only player to have not readied up. And if this does not work right here, we are going to have to go back to the coaching POV, and it's looking like that. Unfortunate. Gotta love ESEA. I would say hope it works on map 3, but at the same time, we want to hope that there is no map 3 in the first place here. Back into this second half of Vision Esports versus the
I'm a
Cure. The
Mexico
Cure,
man.
unfortunately, unable to thread the that
Want me
last
to
needle
Drop bomb T-stair and then run and get it if the.
Yeah.
to get
Okay.
We'll get it.
round 1 for them, make it a
I will-
9-6. But still 8-7
get
here,
it, just
considering they're down 0-5 at one point. I have to say, they managed to come back to this in a pretty good way. now that they have a little bit of momentum in their favor here, and
Push,
considering that they
go B, go B,
had
go B.
such an
Go B.
insane T
Yeah,
half
bomb.
on overpass, excuse me, hopefully we can
One guy,
imagine
jump to
something
boost.
magic will come through.
Yep.
JT is going to open things
Base.
up, make it a 4 versus 5 before it's quickly turned
Down, let me
back
get bomb.
into an even situation as Turner goes down here. Bomb most likely going to get planted, even though it's a little bit late here. Gabe
Y'all get control. CT,
struggling
yeah,
a
get
little bit.
control
The
of it.
old man of this team. And really,
Another one.
Scar not
No.
too bad considering Sins will be able to
Dan, you're alone.
strike back with a kill.
One more.
Another one CT.
Last guy CT.
Flashing it.
The last person remaining is the
Ryan on the
face
side. Nice. good
player
job.
who will go down
Love that, I love
just
that.
as handily. It's another quick round
Well,
for the
if they
cure
know what we're
here.
doing then they
Oh,
know
I spotted
what
bike
we're doing.
back.
It's,
Just
yeah,
keep
I'm not
holding.
gonna lie. It always feels like I'm
Oh,
interrupting
it's
people
fine.
whenever I
It's
talk
fine.
over the comms that are going on. It messes with your brain in such a
Yeah.
weird way, and
Best
I mean,
shot.
hey, we're seeing a
Run 'em
lot
down
of
mid, Matt.
the
They run
brain
it,
being
just
messed with
change all
here
the
as Envision
they run
Esports
down mid?
dropped that round
No.
after finding the initial pick as well, so that definitely has to hurt.
Made it.
Really good calls at the same time, though, from the Cure, though, to read that they're going for a very deep commit over
Better than
towards
Charles,
apartments.
so-
You're alone, Matt. Fall back.
I'm just
Work
gonna
out
go
for
back.
Should,
them
take
whatsoever.
all these,
Sins has
so-
gotten
Dinked
so
one
much
nice.
information over towards B, though. I wouldn't be
Might take
surprised if
half
they
too.
end up
I
trying to
don't see
commit
anything
to that.
bracket, but
Turner
I'm
has
holding on.
already
I don't know what
dropped,
to do with it.
thanks to Khalil
Yeah.
of Gabe.
'Kay.
And Gabe is
Nice.
going to do them
I'm
one
not
better,
sure
takes
about
down
that.
PWD as well.
Clearing B.
Yeah.
Marin
could
Halls.
be, could be.
Yep, let's go B.
One CT.
Where as well.
But the
He was
Cure,
before you
they
went
don't
right
have to
there.
force the
One
situation
clear,
whatsoever
one
here.
clear.
They're being very
One
thorough
top
in
mid,
their
top mid, that's all.
executes,
Right side.
very thorough in their site takes as well, and well, because of that, they're going to be gifted another round win
CT.
most likely here. They have not dropped a single player, have not taken a point
Not
of
shy,
damage
save
either.
defense.
They're looking clean,
Running
they're
front
looking
side,
perfect
so
here.
kinda
There's
for
only
them,
one player
50.
remaining for
We're gonna get
Envision,
across B this round. Next round.
and he's most likely only going to be stuck on a
Nice.
pistol
Yeah.
regeneration.
Front people-
No such
Front
luck
people,
for
whoever's
you
in front, get the Mac
as the Cure officially get on double digits. This is the
Play
map
the
pick of
buys, don't
Envision
take it.
Esports here, considering...
Fast B.
I'm
If
gonna
we
sit
get even
back C.
Okay, in all honesty,
if we even get one
considering
kill here,
that Envision
commit,
Esports
because we can
started
get
on the T side,
Fast
You're gonna
commit.
side, right?
if we get the
I
kill,
am surprised by how lukewarm their round wins have been so far.
Oh, I got.
Never mind.
Now, this is the CT side. This is a round which is more favored, plus they'll have guns to play with in this round here. Maybe we can expect something interesting coming out from them. As you see Gabe's quickly pushing up Banana here with a Bison here. We'll force out a little bit of utility from Envision.
Fake smoke.
Things are at a bit of a
You might
standstill
util.
for right now. The
Wanna take
T's have
brackets?
plenty of util to
Got
work
nothing,
with.
Molly. Yeah, I can tell.
It looks like
I can
it's
tell
going to
what's
be a
up, Molly.
conga line up towards A.
Right side
I'll get
smoke.
it. I got left side melee.
Interesting buy indeed here. I'm
I'll play
not
Fnatic
sure
flash.
if they just weren't expecting
Alright, call when you want the flash.
Try and smoke it.
for Envision Esports to
side.
buy into this one, but they might be in for a nasty surprise as they push in here. A smoke towards Porch and a Molotov over towards Arch will go ahead and initiate this push for the Cure here. Still have yet to find a frag. The only damage being done is a little bit
Yeah,
on
I'm
the
gonna
Dolton
quickly
here,
brush smoke.
but they have to be very, very careful here. They, again, still have plenty of utility to work with
Want
here.
me to do it?
Utility is the least of their problems here. They can afford to be thorough here, but they need to start getting some of these frags, or else they might be in
first
really,
bomb.
really big danger and allowing Envision to perhaps almost even things up.
They're going back to be one of them.
This is
Molly
potentially
United.
one of the most important
Alright,
rounds of
we're
the
gonna-
game
yeah,
here
we're
for
gonna
the
have to
Cure.
go fast.
And it's
Right,
going to
go, go,
start
just
with a
go.
bang. Mersive finds a quick frag onto JT here. Officially starting to push into the B site. Turner is the next face up.
Low.
And Sins
Fell off
desperately
one
trying to
bit.
chase this frag down. But
He's
he's
in
run
back
away
low,
at just the
plenty-
perfect
plenty
time.
fucking-
Cured has picked up another kill, making it a third one as well. Sins picks up another and a quadra kill as well. I say it's a quadra kill, but it's only a triple in the end.
Good,
Sins has
Dan,
been
nice
getting some
shot. Good job.
disgusting multi-kills this entire game. This entire series
You know
really
why? That's because we're-
had me stumbling over my rounds. When I meant quadra kill, I meant
I'm
4
not
kills
very
have been
far.
committed
Well,
for the
Not
Cure.
either.
Actually, let's print
Okay.
C9.
Sound like I am.
They're going to be running a
C9.
C9 strat, and let's
Yeah,
hope
I
this
know.
isn't
You
the
said
same
you
in
first one
Overwatch
time,
as they
so-
stop caring about the objective. Hey, Chuck, thanks. Really appreciate you having you in. I'm stuttering over my words quite a bit here. Just as much as Envision seem to be struggling
Oh,
over these
no.
rounds, and just as much as Scar seems to be stumbling over that in that Molotov as well. So already off to an interesting start. You see the T's have such aggressive positioning though. The
Yeah,
Cure
I'm ready.
might have just been granted some apartments access here. The Scar is not checking, or excuse me, Scar is not checking his angles whatsoever here, and doesn't come back to bite them because this is a B stack from Envision Esports. Free bomb plant for them and a good read from the Cure is going to grant them a 12th round unless they pull up with some miraculous retake. Mersive over at mid, spots one, gets the shot off.
Once he
Strings
ran
will
right,
be there
watch
to
out,
go ahead and back his teammate up. There's a third as well. All kills in favor of the Cure right now as they struggle not at,
Run it
they don't
again.
struggle at all really in just cleaning up that round. It's another
Literally,
eco from
yeah,
envysion
CT has a
Esports.
fucking M4 and a
Esports, excuse me.
5.7.
He's just on our side. What do they have? Tell me.
They full buy.
What do I think they have here? Well, if I had to guess, they're definitely going to be full buying into this. Most likely not going to be committing an op, but I wouldn't be surprised to see an AUG come through.
We're doing
I
Sienna.
think they are going to be trying to go for a flower pot boost and try taking less
try.
aggressive
Oh
banana
my
control
gosh.
this time around. I would imagine that they're going to have a player posted up close apartments, perhaps a spotting over towards Long Hall. Looks like no, I'm wrong on that front.
Ready?
It's hard to think what envysion Esports are doing because it just seems that they're essentially
lane,
giving
two
away
lane,
so
two
much
lane, two
important
lane.
information. One player sitting on top of the
Lane
barrel
tag,
is actually going to be able to find a kill, and actually he's doing some much more magic underneath the porch. Regeneration finally gets taken down. It's a 2 versus 2, so the first even situation we've seen this entire half, really, from envysion Esports. They have to win this round, though, or else we're getting to the point of no return.
Yeah,
It should.
Jump spot.
Vision,
they capping hard.
they have still a lot of utility to play with. Another smoke. Still in the hands of Mersive, a Molotov on Gabe. They should be perfectly fine on this retake here, especially since this burns so much time off the clock here. That Molotov from Gabe actually might be the heroic play that they need here. Player jumping into pit. JT wasn't ready to take that gunfight there, nor was he ready for the second. The Cure are going to come out of that 2v2 flawlessly, not even dropping a single point of health, much less a player.
What do I do?
The Cure are looking so healthy right now. Their economy is looking perfect. That max loss bonus has come through from envysion Esports here, but since they've been forcing into this one a lot, I'm not sure if they'll have a very healthy
I
buy.
like the boast that ends at 280 or this half.
Just judging by how envysion have been playing this, they most likely are going to try and commit some utility, but as Mobile Raptor has actually pointed out in the chat, they have been committing some utility very early on here. You see a bit of a changing of the seasons, though, as you see nothing is used over towards Banana. I would imagine this is the sure signs of a stack. There's the first one, and there's the second one as well. This is actually a gun round from envysion Esports. The fact that they dropped so early is terrible news from them. The AUG from Regeneration will finally go ahead and bear some fruit for envysion Esports here.
I know, I'm just holding the cross.
Where was he? Emo?
Green fallback, 1CT, 1B. Go ahead.
Good communications from the Cure, though, keeping themselves in this game.
Smoking
Heads
deep
up
rush
in
on
this
the-
game.
the-
They're primed to take 14 rounds now. Again, this is their round to lose here. It's a 2 versus 4. They have almost every advantage that they could possibly hope for, including a bomb that has just been planted. Post-plant positions can be very, very secure and very, very strong as well from the Cure.
I'm not losing my
This might as well be done and dusted here as Dalton finds a first, soon to be the second, perhaps, as the last player I would imagine is going to be saving Graveyard right now, or perhaps backside. I would imagine Emo or Triple.
He's Fountain.
He's Fountain. Okay, interesting. Neither. And surely Regeneration is back up. No, that AUG is actually doing fantastic work for them. And thing is, though, the Cure have a ton of money to work with here. They can realistically keep going for some of these fights just because they have so much money to work with. It's no worry for them whatsoever here. They're totally fine just to chase those frags. I would imagine he's been saving over towards Emo or Construction, but either way. Hey, what's up, Minashigo? It's good to see you.
Attack?
We are doing a very scuffed cast here.
Pop, I'm owning these motherfuckers.
And that's the kind of spunk I like. The Cure, they have a lot of spunk right now. They have had a flop. Do I know who you are? I do not know who you are, but I'm sure if you were to tell me your name, I would know exactly who you are. Or if not, I'm just deaf. But either way, I'm more interested in what the Cure are trying to do right now, especially since Regeneration has found that first kill. Already down to a 4 versus 5. Now, historically, the Cure have done pretty well in these sort of situations and made, well, perfectly to recreate history. As Sins and Mersive both chime in with frags of their own here. Want to take this B site early. Bomb is down, though, so they most likely don't want to commit to this. Blue will have to pick that up. That's Gabe. Spray through the smoke into CT. And this is perfect, though. The Cure are in such a strong spot right now. Even though Sins has lost his life.
Yep.
Sprays come through. Oh, what's up, Nat?
You're all on, Ryan.
Been a minute. 3 versus 2 as well. Bomb over towards A.
One right now.
And even though you apparently stomped the Cure,
Yeah, I'm gonna plant back.
the Cure seem
Yo,
to be
what's up,
stomping
Nick?
Envision
Yeah.
Esports
Plant.
just fine.
Nick,
Have
just read
almost
him.
have double the rounds, excuse me, and are looking to go up on
Should be
15
pit
here.
here.
Average
This
Absolutely
is
careful.
a
Put it on
nearly
us,
impossible
but-
retake for
Dude,
Envision
San Francisco.
Esports. There's still utility in play for the Cure.
Matt, you already
That's
know
the
we're
biggest
promoting
thing.
Geniuses.
Also important to mention that Envision Esports seem to just be losing every duel, have no idea on the positions. Not made much better by Clayar either here, as he drops. Last one remaining on Envision Esports. Surely is just going to go ahead and try to save his gun now. But at this point, Envision Esports, they're almost done. They're almost out of this game. They're almost out of this match. The Cure are primed to upset the number 14 seed as the 18 seed, so it's not the craziest upset in the world, but they've really been on a tear recently, the Cure. I believe they've won their last 3 games. I can imagine. I'm just going off of what I've seen on ESEA, and ESEA can sometimes show me the wrong information, but the Cure have been on a tear recently, and they seem to be not letting off the gas whatsoever. They're up on 15, 8 match points. This is absurd.
Drop bomb, fast B.
Oh, I wasn't even listening. I got open.
They're being very crazy and very aggressive with how they're pushing in over towards B. That flash completely blinds other teammates, but it doesn't matter because 3 kills will go the way, one of which is a team kill.
He was already dead and you were still shooting me.
Fuck out of my way, bitch.
You see a lot of fun BM coming through here. TKs doesn't matter for anything, especially since Envision are falling one by one by one.
He's left side. Probably coughing.
They're just toying with their food at this point. It's the beginning of the end, and I think we're about to see the Cure ready to take the crown of this win, perhaps. Regeneration struggling a little bit, but there's a kill in the end.
It was almost a 30-9 game, dog.
Yeah.
Almost.
Incredible heroics on each individual player there.
Thanks, Nick.
Dalton.
Thanks, Nick.
Oh,
Thanks,
you got
Nick.
me with a post. Okay, you got me with a post-match interview. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Yeah, I
that.
know. Let me
But,
live with it, Ryan.
Well, Dalton, I have to say, I
would.
think I was watching you a lot on
GOT.
Overpass when I actually had the
That's your
GoTV available. I noticed that you were absolutely crazy on Overpass. I think you were just like the star player in that regard. I think you got so many crazy important frags when lurking. That was absolutely gorgeous. I think we're about over with things though. The Cure dominate on both Inferno as well as Overpass here. Both ending the games, I believe, with a 16-7 score, which is interesting enough. And it is really important to mention that on Inferno, Envision only got 2 rounds that entire second half here. Other than that, though, the Cure looked absolutely flawless. You have to go ahead, look back at that demo, and hopefully take a lot from that game, though, because Envision Esports, I don't believe they're out of it just yet, but they definitely have a lot to play for. We are going to go ahead and call it on our stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name has been Ito. Thanks for watching this Scuffed cast. I know it might have been a little bit interesting, but I'm just happy I got to cast this match while I did. We'll see you guys later. It was fun.